All right, we have Master Investor Wallace Fisher here, our stocks and securities man with the wisdom. So we were just talking about in the last lesson, growth investing versus value investing. And you touched on some very important things when it came to dividends and receiving a dividend, which we explained when I was talking about, and some of you seen the lesson I've talked about when I explained what a dividend was. Well, now we're getting a real-time example of a dividend and how it's even a strategy that you can pursue, which is income investing. Right. So can you kind of talk about how you find good dividends, which where you're able to look and see and know a dividend right there, and then making that kind of an income strategy as a part of your portfolio as well, looking for the dividend. So you have your aggression growth with your growth strategy. You have the safety, making sure your stocks are not falling super hard when the market turns, because these are consistent, steady growth stocks, which are value, but you're also even taking it to a deeper level. And now you have investing income. Can you explain investing income and dividends?
Awesome. One of the ways, there's a long saying that in order to get wealth, you have to have multiple streams of income,
Mm.
and dividend investing could be one of those multiple streams of income. I said before that there's a stock that I have that pays me almost $5,000 a quarter in dividends. So and just imagine that. So imagine having two, three, or four of those type of companies in your portfolio. So it doesn't matter how the market is going, and I won't say it doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter much how the market is going. I'm going to get a consistent dividend, and that is one of the ways where you can get extra um, extra income. So, how to pick a stock with a good dividend? Let me first say this, and you may not even hear this from a lot of people. You want to look at the interest rates, right? The 10 year, the 20 year. And the reason why I say that, so the 10 years about 1.7%, almost 2%. The 20 years are right around 2%. So big money investors would take, like, again, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars, and sometimes billions of dollars to put in the treasury yields. Why? Because 2%, 2.5% on $1 billion is a lot of money. That's easy money, right? So you want to pick stocks with dividends at 2.5% or more, right? And because the yield, you look at the yield, you want to do something that's either paying what the yield is or paying right above what the yield is.
What is
But
yield?
um,
What is a yield?
yield, so dividend yield, it's another word for dividend. So
So the definition of yield is pretty much a synonym for dividend.
dividend, exactly, dividend yield, yes, sir. And so, but just know this: the higher the dividend, the more that the stock could fall, right? So you don't want to get a stock that has a 6-7% dividend, because a lot of times those companies, first of, may have trouble paying out the dividends.
Right.
Second, the stock is unstable. So you want to look between 2.5 to about 3.5, 4%, maybe at the most, dividend yields, because you have the company that has a little bit more stability. The balance sheets are a whole lot better than some of those companies that are paying 6, 7, 8, 9% yields. Those are the companies you want to stay away from, only because those companies are not stable, and that means if your yield is rising, that means your stock price is falling, right? And the inverse is that the reciprocal is that as well. The stock is rising, your yield is falling, and the reason why they do that is because the stock price is rising, you're making more money on the stock rising. So
Mm.
you still get the dividend, but they're going to lower the dividend some. And now when the stock price starts to fall a little bit, they raise the dividend, and again, to keep it attractive, so to make sure that they get enough investors with them, right? So, like I said, look at the 20 year, 10 year. You want to do something 2.5% to maybe 4%. And you can Google. You can Google the best yield, and that's how easy it is, right? The company that pay the best dividends, right? And you'll see the American brand names that you know and love, that you have no idea that you can't do without. Clorox, um, Johnson and Johnson, that we use all the time. Kimberly Clark, that we use all the time. A thing like Caterpillar, Coca Cola. So and you want to
Wow.
invest in those type of companies. that pays good yield. So now you have an extra flow of income. So every quarter, so say for instance, a company pays, let's say, they say they pay, let's say 4%, an easy number, 4%, and a 4% yield. That means 4% annually. You would get 4% annually on, however much money you have on in a particular stock, right? So you divide that by 4 because we have 4 quarters in the year. So you get 1% each quarter on whatever monies that you have in that particular stock, right? And that's how that works. So every quarter, you can get paid a dividend. You can do it one or two ways. You can reinvest it, so you can compound it, or you can take it and use it as income.
Look how amazing that is, man. If you got the real wisdom and you understand what you're doing and you know how to pick those kind of stocks, you can be setting yourself up for every quarter. And like you said, pick more than one. You said you had 3. So you have a couple of different stocks with a really good dividend. You could be cashing out almost 3 extra paychecks a quarter into your life, So thank you for explaining an income strategy, because you're going to set yourself up for additional income. And this is not just selling your stock. That's what I think is the biggest, most beautiful thing about this is you don't have to sell your stock in this instance to be able to receive your dividend. You keep your wealth and your stock and your asset, but the stock itself provides an income stream of a dividend. So each quarter you're getting a benefit for not only having the stock and already having your wealth in the stock and growing, but you also get a dividend payout as income. So there's many ways, like you said, to create multiple streams of income. And I mean, you explained it tremendous. You explained it wonderful. Thank you for breaking it down so easily and digestible.
Yes, sir.